Episode 94, The Generational AI Divide.
The primitive forms of artificial intelligence we already have proved very useful.
AI is a golden opportunity.
How do we ensure that this technology is regulated?
The long arc of technological history is now in an extraordinary new phase.
The AI 6 podcast with Joanne Sweeney.
AI isn't just disrupting our working lives, it's exposing the generational fault lines in how we learn, trust, work and lead. Understanding those differences isn't about stereotypes, it's about strategy, because if we don't bridge the generational AI divide, we risk creating digital inequality inside our own teams and in the services we design for the public. Hello and welcome back to the AI 6 podcast, where I teach you AI in just 6 minutes a day. Let's hear from OpenAI CEO Sam Altman speaking to Fortune.
Maybe you talk to an average 20-year-old and watch how they use ChatGPT. And then you go talk to an average 35-year-old and how they use it or some other service. And the difference is unbelievable. It reminds me of when the smartphone came out and every kid was able to use it super well. And older people just took 3 years to figure out how to do basic stuff. And then of course people integrate. But this sort of generational divide on AI tools right now is crazy. And there's this other thing where they don't really make life decisions without asking ChatGPT what they should do. Gross oversimplification. But older people use ChatGPT as a Google replacement. Maybe people in their 20s and 30s use it as a life advisor something. And then people in college use it as an operating system.
So let's break this down into what I call the 3 layers of the generational AI divide. First, mindsets. Digital natives versus digital migrants. Gen Z and millennials grew up Googling answers, now they're prompting GPT. Boomers and Gen X may approach tech with caution, seeking permission, fearing risk, or wanting proof before trust. So who's open to experimentation? Well, younger professionals are often more willing to try and learn. Older generations may prefer clear guardrails, process, and approval structures. Neither is wrong in the AI revolution, but the gap can slow adoption or cause internal tension. Next, we look at skill sets. AI literacy is uneven. Some 25-year-olds are training GPTs. Some 55-year-olds are still figuring out where the prompts go. Training needs to meet people where they are, not where they wish they were. And of course, tool selection varies, and I'm already seeing this in my classrooms. Gen Z might be using 11 Labs and Notion AI on the side, while senior managers are only just piloting Microsoft Copilot. Organizations need alignment without forcing a one-size-fits-all stack. The next element is power and culture. Leadership often sits with the least AI-fluent table. The people with the most institutional power are often not the ones experimenting with AI, and that can create a top-down bottleneck on innovation. And you know what? Younger staff may use AI off the books, shadow AI. I've heard this in more than one government agency and in the private sector. Junior team members using ChatGPT daily, but never seeing it in meetings. Why? Fear of judgment. And this is a cultural signal we just can't ignore. So what do we do about it? How do we bridge the AI divide? Well, as Maria McCann, who you've heard on this podcast before, she would say that you've got to create psychological safety for AI use. Let staff know it's okay to experiment and share outcomes, good or bad. Everybody's learning. Then practice reverse mentoring. Pair junior staff fluent in AI with senior leaders, and then mutual growth will happen and you eliminate shame. Segment your training. 1 session for beginners, another for use case builders, and a third for leaders focused on ethics, governance, and strategy. And of course, celebrate the wins across all age groups. Whether it's an intern using ChatGPT to draft a press release or a senior manager designing AI policy, recognize it, call it out, share it. AI is here to stay. I constantly say it, but how we introduce it, teach it, and talk about it across generations will determine whether we embed it well or watch it divide us further. The good news, you don't need everyone on the same level. You just need a shared commitment to learn, adapt, and support each other. And that's what I'm doing on this podcast and with my teachings and my courses. If you're a marketer or leader and you want to stay ahead in AI, you can check out my professional diploma in AI for marketers or book an in-company AI workshop. Use the code AI610 for a discount. I'm Joanne Sweeney, helping you embrace the AI age. I'll talk to you on the next show.